Let's just start with the crazy vaccine mandates because it's happening, right? They're kicking in. And now we're seeing people meant it when they said they weren't going to be bullied by their employers into getting these. Let me just start with Chicago cops. The vaccine deadline was Friday for them to disclose their vax status or be vaccinated. 30,000 city employees there, 10,000 cops. And according to the latest numbers, less than 65% of the cops have met the reporting requirement. Some 35% of the cops have let the deadline pass without complying. And now there's a real question about whether the cops are not going to be on the job in Chicago, one of the deadliest cities in America.
Yeah, my hometown, Megyn, it's sad. I watch what's going on week after week prior to this announcement by Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who, by the way, has violated her own mask mandate countless times, including this past weekend. Yep, Chicago cops are told that they're likely going to go on unpaid leave, which is basically taking their livelihood away from them if they're not vaccinated, and they can't prove it. And they, like you said, somewhere around a third to a half of them said, we're not going to do it. John Catanzaro is the head of the police union in Chicago, saying we're not going to be told what to do, what to put in. These are the same people, Megyn, who were heroes a year ago. Remember, they were the frontline workers, the first responders. They're getting fired. Nurses are being pulled off the floor if they don't have a vaccine passport. They fired 120 nurses in a hospital group right here in New York City. It's incredible. These people have put their lives on the line for America to save our lives and get us back on our feet. And now the Biden administration is pulling their reasons to live, to make a livelihood. It's insane across the board. We just heard a cop in Washington State resign on his microphone. He's calling into it for his very last time. I'm resigning because Governor Inslee from Washington governors mandating cops be vaccinated. Why
we have
that?
Actually, let's hear that. That's Washington State Trooper. His name is Robert LeMay. He went public with his opposition to the vaccine mandate in August. He's skeptical about the safety of the vaccine and long-term effects and so on. And here he was piecing out after 22 years as a state trooper.
This is my final sign-off after 22 years of serving the citizens of the state of Washington. Being asked to leave because I am dirty. I'd like to thank the citizens of Yakima County, as well as my fellow officers within the Valley. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been very successful, and you've kept me safe and got me home to my family every night. Thank you for that. Wish I could say more, but this is it. So, State 1034, this is the last time you'll hear me in a state patrol car. And Jay Inslee can kiss my ass.
Yeah, Jay Inslee, governor there. And remember, he ran for president at one point. LeMay is on my show today, and he, not only was he a state trooper for, I believe he was 17 or 22 years, he delivered a child on his first shift ever. He said he embraced young officers, young troopers who wanted to come in. He taught them the ropes, kept them safe, kept the people of Washington State safe. And now, after all this, as he points out, Governor Inslee thinks he's dirty. Trooper LeMay is dirty because he won't take a vaccine that he and his wife both choose not to take. They just don't want to do it. We shouldn't make people do things they don't want to do. I would recommend it. I've been vaccinated. I clearly talk about it, but I have a real problem with being mandated to do it. I did it because I'm in this city, this godforsaken hellhole, New York City. Sorry, New Yorkers. I'm in this city and I can't even go to a restaurant unless I show a vaccine passport in my pocket. You go anywhere and they want to see it. They want to make sure you're vaccinated. It's really incredibly against our Fourth Amendment rights. It's just incredible what they're doing to our
Did you laminate your little card? I'm impressed.
So CVS, when you get the second shot, you can buy this little
Okay, so I will show you mine. I keep all my cards in the back of my my phone, and mine is just like crumbled up in a little. Yeah, that's me. And I only even have that because Abby made me, because I traveled to Chicago this past week, and she's like, "Take it with you. You'll never eat out." But actually, they were a lot more lax in Chicago than they were in New York, where they really do make you show that vaccine card in order to get in.
Megyn, they're like, make sure you're not faking it. Yes, it's just incredible. I mean, yeah, you come across a southern border. and you're not required to show a vaccine card, nor are you required to get vaccinated. But that's A-OK. That's fine. And they'll fly people in the middle of the night into our U.S. cities quietly under the guise of darkness, and drop illegal immigrants off.
That's happening right now. That's happening between where you are in New York City and where I am right now in Connecticut at Westchester Airport, which is this small, sort of under the radar airport. And the reports are by the New York Post that they've flown some 2,000 illegal immigrants up there in the dark of night between midnight and 6 a.m. I'm sure somebody just tipped off the Post because they saw these, undocumented immigrants coming in, and they say, oh no, it's all families, it's all children. But those on the ground are saying, no, there were plenty of young men in their 20s. Technically somebody's child. Yes, that doesn't make one a child. And the Biden administration seems to be awfully sneaky about it. Ron DeSantis in Florida said, if this is all on the up and up, why so sneaky? And none of those people has had a vaccine. They've been open about the fact that they're not vaccinating these migrants. They're not requiring that of the Afghanistan migrants. They're only requiring that of folks like that trooper and these cops and people who have been helping the country survive this pandemic for the past 18 months.
Trooper LeMay, and again, he's going to be on. We have the show at 4 o'clock. I'm not pitching. I'm simply saying
No, but you should watch it. It's a good show. It's Newsmax, 4 p.m., Eric Bolling.
Thank you, Meg. But he says he and his wife have chosen not to. They have 3 young kids. They have 3 young babies now. Their dad's not making a living. His wife works part-time. They don't know what to do, but they did know that they didn't want to be told to take a vaccine that they didn't agree with. They didn't know, or whether it was vetted enough. Who knows? I'm not making a commentary on whether or not the vaccine works or not. I'm saying the mandate. So I'm pro-vaccine, anti-mandate. And this guy, this trooper, is putting his career on the line, his family's livelihood on the line, as is Megyn, the ESPN reporter, who said, you know what, I don't want to take the vaccine because I'm trying to get pregnant. My doctor says don't. And Disney, who owns ESPN, says, okay, for a while, you can object, medical reasons. But then they said, either you get vaccinated or you're going to have to resign or we'll fire you. And she had to resign.
Or you're out. So now, you know me, I don't follow sports that closely, but I do know my fellow reporters. And she's been at ESPN. Her name's Allison Williams for about a decade now. Faithful servant on the sidelines, reporting the games and so on. And now she and her husband are trying to get pregnant with their second baby. And there are a lot of women who are pregnant or trying to get pregnant who have some vaccine hesitancy for obvious reasons. They're amongst the lowest when it comes to the vaccinated in our country. According to stats my team gave me, less than 26% of pregnant Americans have received at least one dose of the vaccine because they're worried about their babies. So they have a higher calling to protect the unborn and figure out what's safe and what's not safe. There haven't been that many tests on them.